Halo Infinite, every way to earn cosmetics. If you were wondering how you will acquire in-game items in Infinite's multiplayer on day one, look no further, because today we'll be breaking down some key news about every method to earn DLC in the game so far. What's going on, everyone? My name's SDDog, and if you like the news and discussions that revolve around Halo, make sure to subscribe to the channel as we rapidly approach the launch of Infinite in December. Okay, now let's get to the news. So, as many of you may know by now, 343 dropped their latest blog post on Monday, September 20th, which gives a ton of info about the newest flight. And yes, I know there are probably hundreds of videos out there by now giving a full breakdown of the entire blog post, but this is not that type of video. I am instead going to focus on the news about cosmetics only. This news lies, in particular, in the paragraph at the end of the blog post that gives us an insightful look at exactly how cosmetics will be earned in Halo Infinite, which is something that has, up until this point, been generally vague. So if we scroll down right here, there is this paragraph titled Single Reward Vectors, which also sounds vague at a first glance, but 343 introduces this terminology in its opening sentences. Quote, "One of the team's core pillars for player customization is ensuring that each unlock comes from a single consistent vector. With our player-first design pillar, we want to ensure that we are respecting players' time for unlocks they've earned and purchases they make. For customization, this means ensuring that each unlock comes from a consistent vector." So basically, when 343 says vector here, this means a distinct fixed route or an avenue to earn certain cosmetics. They don't explicitly say so, but in the following sentence, they reference an example of the Battle Pass serving as one of those vectors, explicitly saying that, quote, "the content within the pass won't be offered via any other means." And they go on to give more context by saying that, quote, "Similarly, customization content a player earns during the seasonal event won't be attainable again via different avenues." So they're driving home the point that cosmetics will be unlocked in many different pathways or vectors, but that does not mean that the pathways will overlap with each other. In other words, the same coatings or armors that you unlock in the Battle Pass will not be unlockable in, say, the campaign or in seasonal events, etc. However, there is an exception to this rule. They do go on to say next that the one current exception to this plan is that there may be times when content that was previously allocated to a specific partnership or promotion may be released broadly at a later date. This specific example is largely to address the fact that in many cases, partnerships and promotions have very limited windows and might not even be available to all players. You don't say, 343. You don't say. It's only been my main criticism about Halo Infinite's cosmetics and the main reason why I started making Halo videos, but I digress. Anyways, on a real note, it's great that 343 is addressing this issue, as many of their promotions have been confusing and very counterintuitive. So for anyone who is missing out on cosmetics that are tied to promotions that are expired, I wouldn't stress out, as it seems that 343 is planning to eventually give them out to the masses. But they didn't specify which ones, so we'll have to see when Infinite is out and beyond. Moving on from here and finishing up this paragraph, 343 goes on to unveil all of the other ways that we can earn cosmetics once we get in at launch. So here are the 10 ways we can get cosmetics at launch. First up, we have the weekly ultimate rewards, which were explained earlier in the post as a final reward that is given for completing all designated weekly challenges. So basically, there will be a final challenge that will grant a reward, such as a coating or an emblem, says 343. The second way to earn cosmetics, which we already knew before the blog post, is the seasonal battle pass, both free and premium tracks. Nothing much else to say here. Moving on. The third way to earn items will be in fracture events, which we also have kind of known about, but we get a bit more clarity on the details here. They are described as free, limited time, marquee events with a separate track with separate rewards that are often tied to the unique armor core. So for instance, the first event will be called Fractures Tenrai, which will be centered around unlocking the much anticipated Yoroi armor core, and they go on to say that this event will be available for all players approximately 1 week per month during Season 1, and the event will come and go throughout the season, available for players to make progress. So basically, this will be a mini battle pass centered around an elusive cosmetic or a set of cosmetics that is separate from the main battle pass. Now, the fourth way to earn cosmetics in Halo Infinite is in special or seasonal events, which from what I'm gathering is separate from both the Battle Pass progression and the Fracture event progression that we just discussed. An example that 343 gave was a special nameplate commemorating a real-world event or earning a unicorn nameplate during a 343 playdate. So these rewards seem easier and more lax to earn as compared to grinding the Battle Pass or a Fracture event. Next, the fifth way of obtaining items is, as we've discussed many times on the channel before, partnerships and promotional items like the Mega Construct codes or Rockstar energy drinks. If you want to know more about promotions and DLC tied to them, check out this playlist that I made that serves as a guide for in-game cosmetics, as I've made videos about them many times on the channel. But let's move on to the next method. The sixth way to earn cosmetics is in skill ranks. Achieving a specific skill ranking / tier for a season will award a unique cosmetic item. And I'm very curious to see how this will work out and how hard it will be to attain certain ranks or tiers. But the seventh way to earn cosmetics will be in the form of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate perks, and we've seen this method implemented in other games like Sea of Thieves, where you would redeem an item in a limited time window on the dashboard. The eighth and most obvious way that we'll be able to earn cosmetics is through the in-game store, which has been seen in the store during the flights. So we kind of get a glimpse what it will look like at launch right here. Next up, the ninth way that we'll be able to earn items is through the campaign, as, quote, some unique multiplayer cosmetics are rewarded for various accomplishments within the campaign. So this, I think, is a great way for people to keep going back to the campaign even after they have finished it. It adds for some cool replay value, and for people who are not really into campaign, it can get them to dip their toe in, so that's cool. Now, the 10th and final way to earn cosmetics in Halo Infinite is through legacy rewards. However, it is interesting to note that they did not mention this in the blog post, but it is a well-known fact at this point that hitting max rank, also known as SR 152 in Halo 5, will give a reward in Halo Infinite in the form of the Watchdog armor and weapon coatings. I would personally like to see more legacy rewards be implemented into Infinite from doing certain tasks in past games. In fact, my next lengthy video that I'm working on explores this topic in depth, so I'll hold my tongue on this for now, but stay tuned for that one. But anyway, that about rounds up the video, and those are the 10 ways that you can earn cosmetics so far in Halo Infinite. But what do you think? How do you feel about the current ways to earn cosmetics so far? What other methods, if any, would you like to see implemented? If you have any other thoughts, be sure to let me know down below in the comments, like the video if you did, and subscribe for more content just like this. Once again, I thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.